Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister Jayalalitha has stepped into the dress code row today and slammed a private cricket club that banned dhotis, saying that the government would now bring in a law to stop this. The controversy escalated after a sitting High Court judge was stopped from entering Tamil Nadu Cricket Association's club for wearing a dhoti. The Chief Minister now says that the licenses of such associations could be cancelled, calling this an insult to Tamil civilization. The question tonight is whether dress codes are justified, especially if private establishments have them. Do they have a right to do that? Do we need to redefine what the national dress is, or should dress codes be done away with altogether? Joining us tonight, we have Alik Padamsee joining us from Mumbai, Khushbu joins us tonight from Chennai, and KDU Murthy, member of the Madras Boat Club that also finds itself embroiled in this controversy, joining us this evening from Chennai as well. Alik Padamsee, your thoughts firstly on what we have seen happening in Chennai over the last few days, this outrage. Many people say that we're stuck in this colonial mindset where the proper dress is the suit and the tie and the trouser and so on, and the dhoti therefore unacceptable. Would you agree that it's a colonial mindset problem?
Yes, I would say it's not only a colonial mindset problem, it's a problem of, listen, you go to a club to relax. You don't go there. This is not a school uniform that you have to wear. I think people should be allowed. I remember when Hussain, M.F. Hussain, our illustrious artist, had tried to get into a club in Bombay with a friend of his, and he was, Hussain always was barefoot. And the club said, no barefoot. You have to wear shoes. Not even chappals, you have to wear shoes. And there was a big brouhaha about it. And I think it was absurd. What's wrong with whatever dress you want to come into? I mean, this is really silly. I remember in the old days in the Willingdon Club, for the New Year's ball, which I used to go to as a student, as a young man, you had to wear a dress suit, you had to wear a white sharkskin jacket and black trousers with a stripe down the center. And, it was great fun, but that was a special occasion. But this dress code in clubs or anywhere, and I would dare say Mr. Muthalik, Shri Muthalik, who thinks there should be a dress code in pubs, according to him, his dress code. And I've always wondered why he doesn't take it up with the Nanga Sadhus.
But Mr. Murthy, let me ask you that, as Alik Padamsee was saying, that it is a sort of a colonial hangover that we have. What is wrong with somebody wearing the dhoti? In another part of the country, a kurta pajama could be considered a national dress and it looks perfectly respectable. A lot of our politicians wear it to official meetings. Are we just sort of stuck in that mindset that we have to dress like the British in order to, to have these dress codes? Mr. Murthy.
See, you should understand what the club culture was started by the Britishers long time back, and we are following it traditionally for a pretty long time. And I don't say that dhoti is a bad and it's a traditional dress. I'm a Tamilian, I totally admire that dress and we follow the tradition. But when you join the club, I'm a recent member of the club, when you join the club, you agreed that there are certain rules and regulations has to be followed. And you also have to bring a guest who follows and respects the club's rules. And if you don't do that, then it's not the right thing according to the club. But having said that, if you want to really make dhoti as a allowable dress in the clubs, you make an amendment. That's not an issue, and make all the clubs follow it. That we are fine. But there are a few clubs in Chennai also who allow dhotis and chappals. That's not an issue. But there are a few clubs started by British, and there are a few which have started recently also.
What is the boat club's policy?
The tradition is what we wear in Tamil Nadu.
But what is the Madras Boat Club's policy?
Sorry?
Do you allow dhotis at the Madras Boat Club?
I am a member of the club, and I don't think I have not seen anybody wearing dhoti inside the club. And trousers and shoes or good chappal, good respected. Yes, it's what is allowed.
Okay, Khushbu wanted to come in on that.
For a certain time, you can be inside.
Okay, so you're saying you've never seen anyone wear a dhoti in the Madras Boat Club, so I assume that there is a sort of an unwritten dress code there on that. Khushbu, you want to weigh in on that? I think what Mr. Murthy is trying to say is that when you become part of a private club, then you have to also accept its rules, and private clubs have a right to establish a dress code, and it happens all the time.
Yes, they do have certain rules. I am a member of a couple of clubs here. But then what I like with Mr. Padamsee said, we go there for recreation. It's not an institution for education. It's not an institution where you say you have a strict dress code. And you have it in Tamil Nadu. And dhoti or veshti, we consider it as a very sacred outfit. It's an outfit for Tamil people. We wear it for every puja, we wear it for the weddings. So why not in a club? Why not in a club? You mean to say that just because you wear pants, you are a perfect gentleman, and if you wear dhotis, you're not a gentleman? I do not understand these policies of the clubs. I think we need to bring in a change where we say that, okay, if you're not wearing a pants, you're decently dressed, that's perfectly fine. And we also have codes as to how we wear these veshtis or dhotis, as you call them. I mean, I would like to ask these clubs, like if you say that you wear only pants or only suit with a bow or a tie, you mean to say that our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, is always into these kurta pajamas, so will he not be allowed in any of these clubs in Chennai if he wants to go? Or they'll have to bend their rules for him?
Well, at this rate, probably not. But Alik Padamsee, the question then is, how do you legislate against something like this? Look, you know, as Shashi Tharoor, who's written a column for us on our website today, was pointing out, you have, for instance, restaurants and hotels that have dress codes, and they're well within their rights, for instance, to turn away people who might come in a pair of shorts and a chappal. And, women are expected, for instance, when they go to temples, to dress in a certain way. So how do you legislate against that? And that's a very valid point that he raises. How do you create a law against that?
I would say that when it's an institution where a dress code is important, as I said, a school or even a college, but here this is you know, I mean, this is India and we are free and easy, and I see no reason why. The only reason I can think is in fact a hangover of the British Raj. The British Raj had many good things but a hell of a lot of bad things, and I would think it's about time we threw a lot of the bad things out. We don't want to be told. In the British times, remember, there were notices of Indians and dogs not allowed at various British clubs. Yeah? And you know, we got rid of it, and I think the dress code is actually infringing your right of expression, and that's in the Constitution.
But,
you should be allowed
but what
to
about
wear.
The point that Mr. Murthy makes, that a private club has a right to frame its own rules?
It may have a right to frame its own rules, but when the country is already on the verge of, let's say, a sartorial revolution, I see no reason why people can't dress in a relaxed manner at a place where you come to relax. It's like saying, does the club forbid people to wear a swimsuit at the swimming pool? What's wrong with it?
Mr. Murthy, does everyone just need to take a chill pill, as they say? I hate to use that expression, but does everyone need to relax a little bit, go easy on the dress codes, let people come in semi-formal clothes? Why the stringent rules?
No. My only thing is that if you make Dveshti, the traditional Tamil Nadu dress, as like what the chief was telling us, that in every club should allow people, that there's no issue. My only contention is that if there is a rule made by them and you accept before you become a member, I think it should be followed along with the guest also. And that is my point which I'm making. If you make dhoti, we call veshti here, that it has to be allowed, then I don't think there is any issue at all.
No, but the point that I think that Khushbu and Alik Padamsee are making is that they are already too stringent. You're very closeted in a certain idea of what you think is the right dress code, and therefore that needs to change. What's wrong with allowing someone wearing a nice pair of sandals to come in, for instance?
Yeah.
Well, it is up to the club to decide. No, it's not only here. Most of the clubs, pan-India, it's like this. Bangalore, you heard a lot of things about Bangalore too. All these things are, started during the British period. So it continues like that. Unless you make an amendment, like the government is contemplating making it as as a rule to allow people with veshti and shirt inside the club, dhoti.
If I'm allowed to come in,
I do
Khushbu,
not last word to you.
Everybody can follow that. That's
I mean, veshti is not allowed, though it's traditional clothing for men down south. And you say it started during the British time and the colonial period, but women are allowed to wear saris or chudidars. How come women are not allowed to? There is strict restrictions saying that you cannot wear a sari, but you have to wear only gowns and walk into it. Why those rules are not made for women? And as far as clubs are concerned, they know it's a recreation club. You say it's a recreation club, and that means that you're there to relax, to spend your time with your loved ones and get away from the maddening crowd of the whole day, your workload, and just be there, chill out a bit. And I'm sure you cannot chill out with properly suited and booted. Yes, if there is an event which is happening, which says that, okay, you have a dress code which has to be followed, then it's quite understandable. Because even these in 5-star hotels, certain places probably you might have a dress code, but I think you have these coffee shops which are where you're allowed to wear the way you want to dress up, whether you're in shorts or you're in a veshti or whether you're in track pants. It does not make a difference. So why these clubs who term themselves as recreation clubs, why do they follow these stringent laws which were there during the colonial times? I think you need to change with the times and say that you are decently dressed, and that's more than enough.
I think it's just the snooty factor, I think, that comes in, because the more rules you have, and the snootier you are, the more exclusive you are. Alec Padamsee, the last word actually goes to you.
Yeah. Look, I really think that it is, yes, you hit the nail on the head, or rather on the snout. It is snooty. It was done in the British Raj to prevent Indians from coming into clubs whom they felt were inferior. The British always wore formal dress, and they said formal dress means British dress, means Western dress, and they didn't like the idea of dhotis, they didn't like the idea of lungis, they didn't like the idea of Indians. Now, the country is now ours. We are the country, and I think any form of dress, as long as it's decent, you might say, and of course there will be people who quarrel about decency, but other than that, I think anyone should be allowed to go into a club, even though it's a private club, wearing a comfortable dress, and if a dhoti is comfortable, wear a dhoti.
Well, I do love the explanation that the Tamil Nadu Cricket Club or Association had given when this entire controversy broke out, that dhoti ban was there to prevent any wardrobe malfunctions under the influence of alcohol. I think that pretty much says it all. Thank you very much to all of you for joining us on the program tonight. Thanks very much. See you all again tomorrow. Until then, good night.